Hello, ladies, gentlemen, boys, and girls. Oh, we're here. Okay, we're here. Just getting things going. Waiting for my guest. My guest just messaged me, said he's finishing up on his previous engagement, so he should be here soon. That'll be good. I'm very interested in what this gentleman has to say. I'll show you the clip I found when he gets here. I'd like us to all watch it together, right? But basically, he's saying that the people who are still asking for the Epstein list to be released, to be clear, the people who are demanding it get released or they won't vote for Donald Trump or won't vote for MAGA or won't vote for the Republicans and stuff, he says they're terrorists. He says they're holding the country hostage. And he has graciously agreed to come on my show to talk about why he doesn't think the Epstein Files are that big of a deal, I guess. I know I hesitate to put words in his mouth. When he gets here, we will talk to him about this. And it will be an interesting discussion, right? I hope so, at least. Lactoid might join us as well. What are you guys doing? First of all, I guess Noid Avoided. Nice to see you. You are first on the Twitch side. Avalone Apple. Welcome. Wolf Glenn. Oh, I haven't seen you in a bit, Wolf Glenn. Nice to see you. Nair, always a pleasure. Who do we got on the YouTube side? Okay, Zephyr Hash, Files, what Files? Hello. Zero Fucks, always a pleasure. Gambit's Games, don't talk about it, no. Oh, we're going to talk about it. It's going to happen. Benjamin, always a pleasure. Ducks Y, woo, with the tomatoes. Oh, I got the tomato crew here today. Welcome. Vita Mecca. Man, I don't know how to pronounce y'all's names. It's just pronunciations are hard for me. Okay, people. I do worry that I come off dumb because I'm very poor at pronouncing things. But I learn by reading. I don't learn by hearing as much. Most of the information I gather by, as I said, reading. So pronunciation, and I grew up doing this, right? So pronunciation's never been my strong suit. It's never been something I've been very good at. Could I get better at it? Yeah, probably. It is what it is. Why is Wick being personable and friendly right now? Should I be mean right now? J-Mac, nice to see you. Welcome to the show. Vibe, hello. Joined at the start, first time. Yeah, well, we're starting a little later than we normally do, because that's when this gentleman could make it. And hopefully he shows up soon. Let me just check. He did say he might be a little late because he's finishing up. He's finishing up his previous guest spot or whatever. But he is on his way. Do not worry. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, until he finishes up and gets here, we do have no stranger to the channel. Lactoid, what's up, brother?
What's up, man?
We're live, if you couldn't tell by that introduction, right?
Yeah, no, that's totally fine. Yeah, pretty upset about this Epstein shit. It's pretty bad.
Did you, well, I guess we'll wait till he gets here to show the clip, but I think I sent you the clip of him talking about, like, calling people who are holding the country hostage by demanding the release of the Epstein Files terrorists and things like that.
Huh.
We'll watch it together when he gets here, hopefully soon. He did text me about 5 minutes ago now, a little more than that, saying he was wrapping up his previous engagement and to send him the link, which I did. And hopefully he gets here soon. You got a camera for us today, sir?
I do. Just give me a little second. I'm trying to
take your time.
figure some stuff out.
In the meantime, what's chat up to? J-Mac says, I see people are virtue signaling their faux outrage about Trump judging teen beauty pageants. Of course, these are the same people that have no issue with teen pageants or children in drag. I think that like, if you think this is faux outrage about this kind of thing, I think you're misjudging it, J-Mac. I don't think people are feigning outrage at this. I think people are pretty upset at Trump's behavior. Maybe I'm misreading it. I don't think I am. Can I pause? Thank you for the Prime gift sub. No Count Mike, welcome to the show. Says, upset about something no one should be surprised about. Acreal says, LOL, fake outrage that Trump loves to spy on little girls. And Better Methodist says, all my rage on any subject is faux. Yeah. Nang Ong says the CIA is using the list as a way to keep those in power in check. I mean, maybe. I wouldn't put it past the deep state. You seem a little distracted. Lactoid, what's up?
Yeah, I'm getting a bunch of shit ready.
Oh, sorry. You actually are distracted. That would I'm reading the situation correctly. Fair enough. Go on. I'm just killing. I'm killing airtime till this guy gets here. Okay. I'm filling the void of content, if you will. I don't want to keep my little wickers waiting too long, but I can only control so much about when this guy gets here. So, I mean, he's not too late. It's only a minute after. I don't know. We'll see. I'm curious as again, I'm trying not to put words in his mouth. That's why I'm not going to read too much into his previous statements. He's made some tweets about this that I find questionable. He's had some statements on other podcasts that I find questionable. But again, I try, and I'm not always perfect at this, but I try to let people speak for themselves and then talk about what they're actually saying rather than what I pretend they're saying or what people pretend they're saying. One of the things that I found to be frustrating in this space is people will extrapolate upon your comments and turn them into things that they are not. And this happens all the time. And I try, and again, I'm not perfect at this, but I try to be careful not to do that.
100%.
Yeah. How's life with you otherwise?
It's good. How do I sound? Do I sound okay?
Yeah, you sound great.
Great. Perfect.
And gang, remember, Lactoid is a friend of the show, so if you want to watch it on his stream too, you can do that once he gets that up and running. And you can go over and give him a follow and all those things. He's graciously agreed to spend some time with us today. And I'm always wanting to help people out that come on my show and help me out, even if I substantively disagree with them on things, right? I think that's just the good thing to do, the friendly, neighborly thing. And I'm just tired of always being mad at everyone. And I don't know, I'm just not built.
I think we're going to be allied on this one. I think we're going to be allied on this topic.
Yeah. I'm just not built to be just angry all the time, gang. It's not in me. It's not in my soul. But politics is making me angry. Like the stuff that's happening, I don't like it. Fitter Methodist says, I always split my time. I'm a wicker and a lackey. I don't think either one of I don't like either one of them, but Hassan, the moron biker, has banned me. Fair enough. You know what? That's okay. We all got hate watchers. Did you see Hutch's conversation with History Speaks yesterday?
I did. That was the first time I've ever seen History speak. I was actually pretty impressed. I think he's a pretty smart guy. I was not expecting him to actually be like an intelligent person.
He
tweets
a lot different than he talks.
Maybe, because, yeah, it was a very good conversation. He knew a lot of the facts and seemed to be educated on timelines, and yeah, it was good.
The problem, the frustration I have, I guess, with History Speaks particularly, is this guy. This is the first time I've actually talked to History Speaks, right? I've never interacted with him aside from a tweet here and there, right? And the reason I interact with his tweets is because about once a month, he'll tag me and call me stupid for something. Various things, right? I don't know why. and that's actually how that conversation happened, is because he tagged me. He was going after Loanerbox, and he tagged me about how I'm stupid and Loanerbox is evil. And I was like, okay, I'm stupid. Come on my fucking show then. Let's talk. And he said, well, I will, but I want Hutch to be there. And it's like, okay, fine. And that's where we are. So I don't know.
Yeah, how did you think it went? Did you like it?
No, content wise, it was fine. I wish Hutch had pushed back a little more on things that, like, me and Hutch's positions are close, but they're not exactly aligned. I think I'm further to the right of him on this issue than he is, and so there are a few things that I wish he'd taken History Speaks to task on that he decided not to. That might just be a strategy thing. That's fine. But I think that Hutch did fine. He came off as reasonable. He came off as intelligent as well. And yeah, I don't know. I just, if you're gonna have that energy for me, like to call me stupid and shit when I'm not there, have that energy to do it to my face. That's all I'm asking, right? If you're gonna talk shit behind my back, talk shit to my face too. Just give me the same. Give me the same energy. That's all
Well,
I want.
wasn't his theory like what is it? Like he thinks like he's all any kind of voice that's like pro-Israeli or like even arguably pro-Israeli he doesn't like, but he had like a ranking system to it, right? So like he really didn't like Destiny and Loner Box,
Yeah, yeah.
and then he put you and Hutch in like a lower category of
Of
dislike,
evil, yeah.
but apparently still sufficient to tag you on Twitter every once in a while.
Here's what it is. I don't know. Let me DM this misfit guy. Yeah, I just told him if he needed help getting in to just let me know, and we're waiting on him. Looking forward to the convo, that kind of thing, right?
You've seen the obviously the letter on February 27th, right?
The
The
letter on
one from
February
Pambani to
27th.
Patel.
You gotta be more specific, buddy. My brain's fried right now.
Uh, the one from Pambani to Patel on February
Oh
27th.
yeah, I did. Like, there's just so much going on. Okay, there's so much going on. I what? Well, let me ask you this, because I'm sure it's going to be brought up, so I'll just bring it up preemptively. What do you think about the Tulsi Gabbard's accusation to the Obama administration about the Russia stuff? Right?
Yeah, I haven't looked into that. It also feels very much like a distraction, and it feels dirty that's being brought up now to me. I don't know. I'm still upset about this Epstein stuff. Um, I mean, maybe there's legs to it. I don't know. If there's legs to it, then it should be investigated, and we should take a look at that. But
Yeah, it just didn't seem like any new information, right? We already knew that they had looked into Russia collusion, and they'd also looked into like Russia's interference in the election via social media engineering and bots and flooding the zone and things like that. So I think that Tulsi Gabbard, to use a term that Mr. Wagner uses, cooked the books on it, right? And basically painted it out as something far more nefarious than it is. It just seemed like nothing new. I mean, if you don't like it before, you're not going to like it now. And if you didn't care before, you're not going to care now. It's just the same. And as you said,
I
it's a very much a look over there and then run type of deal. But
it feels that's what it feels like. I've heard Rob Noor talk a little bit about the whole
sure.
RussiaGate stuff, and he knows a lot more details than I do. I mean, it
Mhm.
definitely sounds like there's a some funny business that was going on. Um, but I mean, I guess we'll see. If you're saying no new information has been released,
Not
that
really.
seems to be
No.
like an unfortunate trend that we begin to notice, right? No new information being released, despite the fact, oh look, it's a big thing, and then it's nothing. Yeah.
It's
Phase two, Wick. When are we getting phase two?
I don't know. That's a good question. Look, this is something that I was mildly critical of the Democrats for as well when they were in power. It's like, look, if you have this information, release this information. Now that said, they weren't promising to, right? I think that the line at the time was like, "This is under investigation, and we're not going to release anything under a current investigation," which frustrating, but okay. I guess what makes it worse under Trump is this is what he ran on. This is what he promised. I listened to the Lex Friedman interview, and he said, "Yes, we're releasing the files," and then to kind of turn on a dime like he has, it makes you wonder. It makes you kind of question. It makes like, what's going on?
He actually, I've been hearing conflicting reports of that. So he told Lex Friedman, "Yeah, I'll release it."
Yeah, it was you got. Oh, I wish I had the clip with me. Gang, can you find that clip? I knew it. I saw his again. Donald Trump went on Lex Friedman. I watched that show because Lex Friedman on occasion will watch me, right? So I try to watch his stuff too. Yeah, he said it. I wish I had again. If I had the clip I'll just show you, but you can Google it on your own time. Again, sorry, gang, to my audience. We are waiting on Misfit Patriot. He says he is coming. He DM'd me not 20 minutes ago. Okay. He was finishing up his last appointment, and he asked me to send the link, which I did. Hopefully he gets here soon. But right now we are just killing time till he does. It's fun. I don't know. Look, here he told look, don't be too hard on the guy, gang. He did tell me that he had a previous engagement and he might be a little late. So this isn't entirely on him. And yeah, we're just here. What do you got? What, like, aside from panels, Lactoid, what even do you do? Stream wise. Like
Panels.
what do you even do?
Panels. I do panels. Basically, yeah, I do. I gotta get debating out of my system. Otherwise, I'll fight with people like my grandmother and stuff. Or I guess I'm out of them now. I'll fight with other people on Facebook. Like just because it's just I have to. Right, I have to get some level of combat in occasionally. But no, it's just almost entirely panels.
All right.
Probably should do more. I used to do a few other things, and if I ever get more time to like actually put into like more content stuff, I probably would be doing more stuff. Like in the past, we've done like reviews of certain Supreme Court cases. Um, Also been told that like a true crime shit or like React content might be like a good idea. I don't know. I'll
Look, you could do what you want, but React content is look, it's bottom of the barrel shit.
Have you seen those fucking viewership numbers though? People like
Fair,
watching people watch
fair,
stuff.
fair. I mean, I can't argue with that. It's not interesting content to me. And I know that I'm being very Wick centered right now, but why would I care what you think about a content? I want to see the content. This is why, I like panels too, right? I like these discussions, is because you can have actual takes on what people actually feel and you can ask them and you can interact with them. With a React content, you're not really able to do much of that. I don't know.
Well, it also puts you like in the pulpit, right? Where you basically can just say whatever you want and like make really bad claims, really, say a bunch of like dumb shit, and they can't push back against you because it's a review. So
Yep.
you see like Denims, for example, like she got in a lot of shit because I don't fully know the details on this shit. So and I know there's currently litigation, so probably shouldn't be talking about it. But I'm gonna say one thing.
You're not involved in
Um,
litigation, are you?
I'm not involved in litigation, but like these people are getting sued. I'm pretty sure Ethan is suing these people
Yeah,
because
but why
they
wouldn't you be
literally
able to talk about it? Is what I'm asking.
just because I don't know. A lot of people have been saying like oh, is he going to win? Is he not going to win? It's so hard to comment on like ongoing litigation, and you see people get it wrong, right? Like Legal Eagle was dead wrong with his initial analysis of the Kyle Rittenhouse stuff. He didn't moderate over time, as it kind of looked like the thing's going to go the other way. But you look at the things at the beginning, and they can totally look one way, and then winds can change depending on what kind of evidence comes out. But it's looking. I mean, it's looking pretty bad for I guess those React streamers where they would just like let it play for very long periods of time, say nothing, maybe like occasionally chime in with something dumb, and that was it. And that was like the whole thing. And they had a shit ton of viewers and siphoned off a shit ton of money. And apparently Ethan had registered it beforehand. He knew they were going to do it, which kind of speaks to their predictability. But here's the thing. They had great numbers, though. Like, they had fantastic numbers.
Please tell me that's not how you create.
Hold on, give me a second. Someone sent me the clip of the Lex Friedman.
I found the words. I didn't find the actual clip.
Well, let's watch the clip. Actually, it might be it'll be content while we wait. Okay, and just let me know if he jumps backstage. By the way, because I can't. How I got my setup, I can't see the backstage right now. Let's see what he has to say. Oh, hold on.
Releasing some of the documents on it. There's a moment where you had some hesitation about Epstein, releasing some of the documents on Epstein. Why the hesitation?
I don't think I mean, I'm not involved. I never went to his island, fortunately. But a lot of people did.
Why do you think so many smart, powerful people allowed him to get so close?
He was a good salesman. He was, was a hale and hearty type of guy. He had some nice assets that he'd throw around, like islands. But a lot of big people went to that island. But fortunately, I was not one of them.
It's just very strange for a lot of people that the list of clients that went to the island has not been made public.
Yeah, it's very interesting, isn't it? Probably will be, by the way. Probably.
So if you're able to, you'll be...
Yeah, I'd certainly take a look at it. Now, Kennedy's interesting because it's so many years ago. They do that for danger, too, because, endangers certain people, et cetera, et cetera. So Kennedy is very different from the Epstein thing. But yeah, I'd be inclined to do the Epstein. I'd have no problem with it.
That's great to hear.
That seems like he's wanting to release Epstein list. I don't know.
He's certainly not calling it a Democrat hoax during that clip.
Hold on. Wrong button, gang. Wrong button. But that at least implies to me that he wants to release it.
You think it's a Democrat hoax, Wick?
Of course not. Why would it be? Look, okay. For years, people have been telling me from the right, that powerful people, elites, are covering this up, okay? It's been the QAnon types, the conservative types, right? People saying we need to elect Republican leadership because they will get to the bottom of this, okay? The conspiracy charge against the Democrats was that they were covering it up, right? That was a conspiracy charge, that they were covering up this list. And now this idea that, oh, no, the Democrats actually made the list and it's fake and they're trying to get Republicans in trouble is such a 1984 moment for me, right? There's a scene in the 1984 book, right, where they're having a political rally, and how their enemies are the East Asians. There were three groups, right? You had Oceania, East Asians, and then you had, I forget.
You're talking about 1984.
Yeah. I forget the other name of the book.
It's Oceania, Eurasia, and East Asia.
Yeah, Eurasia and East Asia. Okay, and so they're having a political rally, and he's preaching about the dangers of East Asia, and East Asia is our enemy, and Eurasia is our ally. And then someone whispers in the guy's ear, and he changes the script mid-speech, and everyone's like, flips on a dime, basically, and they're tearing up the East Asian ally posters, and they're putting up the Eurasian ally posters, and they're like, who infiltrated us and switched these things on us? It was very, very reminiscent of that scene in the book, this whole Epstein stuff. But you tell us, again, while we wait, why don't you give us your perspective on Epstein? Why do you care about it? What do you, in your opinion, what is it? And yeah, just kind of give us some thoughts on this while
Sure.
we wait. Yeah.
And the reason why I care about it, and I think why so many people who are on the right wing care about it, is because there's no actual, there's no defense. You're either in the frying pan or in the fire. Either this shit's like there's shit they're hiding, or they were lying about shit. And they don't have anything, and they were just using that to drum up support for whatever kind of legislative agenda that they had. Until they decided they just couldn't do it anymore, or very coincidentally, right after the big beautiful bill gets passed, of course, is when they say, "Oh, we're closing stuff down now," because perhaps if they did that beforehand, there wouldn't be as much support. I mean, that's good scenario. Both scenarios are bad. So I guess
But that's
less
the
bad
less
scenario.
bad scenario, I guess.
Yeah, less bad scenario is that they were just lying to us the whole time and playing us like puppets and having this kind of psychotic we just got to keep it going, man. If that's the case, I mean, there needs to be a wave of firings and apologies, not only to people who voted for Trump, but I think also apologies to the Democrats, right, for insinuating that they were on this list that apparently is now a hoax. So needs to be pretty a lot of apologies from all over that administration, and a lot of firings. Pam Bondi, Kash Patel. I would say Bongino, but it sounds like he wants to leave anyway. If the alternative scenario is true, where they're actually are hiding shit, well, then it's clear why I'm upset. Our government is being subordinate to the whims of a criminal, of the worst kind of crime, which is fucked. And exactly why a lot of people voted against the establishment, right? Because they felt that the establishment was safeguarding these people.
Covering people up. Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
the constant kind of conspiracy we've heard for a long time.
Is it a conspiracy though? Because I'm sorry, the way Trump reacted, I mean, it feels bad. It looks like somebody who's guilty, who's yelling at his supporters. So it's kind of fucking weird, dude. And again, I don't know. I don't know. People keep asking me what are you looking for? What exactly? I don't know what I'm looking for, because you haven't released what you promised that you'd be releasing, which is phase 2 and phase 3. And all the things in the February 27th memo that Pam Bondi sent to Kash Patel. And even after February 27th, Pam Bondi was insinuating that Democrats were on the list. And this was after in February 21st, when she said that she had the client list on her desk. Now, of course, that could be a misspeak, but if I was the head of the DOJ and I misspoke about something like that, I'd probably take it some point in the next 5 months to clear that up, as opposed to just letting it go.
Again, if I say something wrong and then it's brought my attention it's wrong, you correct the record, right? And you do that as soon as you find out. That just helps your credibility. It plays. This is a thing, and this is what frustrated me. This is what frustrates me sometimes when I talk to the left as well, right? It's this idea that the other side does a bad thing, so we should do that bad thing too. In this case, lying, right? There is this idea that you should lie to protect your allies and lie to hurt your enemies. And perhaps Pam Bondi, again, in your less bad scenario here, perhaps the idea was we should just lie about this in order to get the support to hurt our enemies and to help our allies. But here's the thing. That only works till they find out you're lying. And then it has remarkably adverse effects. So morality aside, okay? Morality aside, it's a pretty bad tactic, at least for long term. I do wonder, though, in this case, if Pam Bondi lied on her own or if she was told to lie. And what I mean by that is, first of all, which one was the lie? Were the files on her desk, or was that the lie, right? Is the lie that there's nothing in there and it's a hoax? Or is the lie that it ever existed in the first place? Or I don't know. I don't know what the lie is here because they've said so many different things on this. And I just wonder who's doing that. Like, it's easy to say Trump because he's, again, in charge. But is it people trying to protect Trump? I don't know. I'm just trying to look at this as the best face possible. And it just...
Even if it's not Trump, I think at this point, the fact, like how he's reacted to this,
Yes.
where he's fully defended Pam Bondi, insulted his own supporters, calling them weak for caring about this. Like his reaction alone to this
Okay,
is
Misfit Patriot.
enough
I'm
to
sorry.
be a scandal.
I'm sorry. He just DM'd me. He says he'll be here at 7:45. So
15 minutes to get my hard-hitting questions out, Wick.
we're gonna just give it to you and let you go. Okay. You'll be the attack dog.
You can jump in.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just
No,
I'll just be
talk
in
to
here
him
for.
afterwards. He's not going. He's not leaving my show after you're done. But yeah, but go on. Continue. I didn't mean to interrupt. I just for my audience, I want people to.
Oh, of
No.
course. So even if it's let's just take a step back because this was kind of the theory that was proposed initially when this like scandal started happening. Because that's what this is. This is a scandal. And I think it's, we can talk for a second. I think it's telling, how a lot of people have been saying, well, the Republican, base, they can't ever criticize Trump. He's getting a lot of flack. I've seen some Democrats join in on this, but I've seen a lot more right-wing voices. Like Matt Walsh, like has been posting for days now, just like insulting Trump about the Epstein Files, right? And so when this initially dropped, the knee-jerk reaction was, well, just fire Pam Bondi. I'm pretty sure that's Misfit Patriot's position. You can obviously clear that up when he gets here, but I'm pretty sure that's his position. Well, yeah, Pam Bondi needs to be fired, and then we're all good. But when you're the boss of somebody, and they're your subordinate, and they're fucking shit up, and they've been consistently fucking shit up for months, your entire first term thus far, and instead of getting rid of her, or even clarifying, you jump to a position that you never held in the statements that you made before. We did watch that Lex Friedman clip just together. He clearly was not insinuating that or saying or anything that it was a hoax then. You're responsible at the end of the day to fire people if they suck. But he's not doing that. He's not firing Pam Bondi. He's insulting us. He's like, he's telling me, thank you, sucker. Thanks.
I mean, to that end, it is his last term. He's not eligible for a third, right? Despite what he might want, and despite what people might say he's going to try to do, he's not. So, I mean, first of all, what does it hurt him specifically to just say, "Yeah, well, you guys are suckers, fuck you," right, and insult you basically? And also, like you are saying, and I have seen, and I'll agree with you that this, more than any other issue, is something that I think has the potential to really fracture MAGA, to really fracture that movement, not just Trump, but the whole movement as in and of itself. But let me ask you that. What do you see happening because of this, right? Say Trump continues on as he is. We're not going to talk about it. It's never released, and he just stays the course as they're doing right now, right? Maybe they throw some kind of bone out you, like release all pertinent files or what have you, that I think he said to a couple things a couple times, right? Does this actually hurt MAGA in any real way long term?
I think it does. I think that right now, with the shock of it just happening, you're going to see the most pushback and the most dissident voices. But I think a big part of that is that some of the more just complete cultists, kind of sycophant people, kind of were at a loss for their talking points because this is just such a brazen kind of betrayal for the first couple days. I'm seeing some like actual pushback now from some people that I know. Like when you bring it up initially, basically everybody I've talked to is like, yeah, that's pretty shitty. Now I've been hearing stuff like, well, yeah, that's bad, but like ultimately the border is what matters. I had one guy I was fighting with. He was arguing that I'm acting entitled and I'm acting like a bratty voter because I felt like I was entitled to this information. Yeah, because I felt like I was entitled to this information when he doesn't owe me anything, and that I should be just trusting him because he has our best interest in mind. So there's
What do you think
definitely
of
some of
that?
them.
First of all, is that indicative of the kind of larger, I guess we'd say, it feels weird to label it the pro Epstein MAGA, so I probably won't. The ride or die MAGA, I'll call them that. The ride or die MAGA. Do you see that as kind of like just a typical view? What and to be clear, the interaction you had with this gentleman who called you entitled and said you just needed
Yeah.
to trust the plan, just shut up and basically let Trump do what
5D
he's gonna
chess.
do.
Yeah.
Do you see, was that a one-off, an outlier, or do you see this as indicative of the kind of ride or die MAGA?
I've got it a couple times, but I think it is a minority. Like I'm
Okay.
getting a lot of people who are agreeing with me, right? And a lot of, again, big voices. Like I was just talking about, like Matt Walsh, and a lot of the people in his comment section are all agreeing with him. Even on True Social, which is like the most pro-Trump platform you're going to find, obviously. And even in his comments, like when he was like making these tweet equivalents, whatever they're called, truths. Um, he had way more comments than he had likes, and a lot of the comments themselves were like very highly rated, criticizing him for this. So I don't think it's. I think that regardless, there's probably going to be a lot of the party that's going to just get in line before any kind of major election. But I think he's going to lose a significant enough chunk to where I think that if you guys fumble the midterms, that's on you. I think that the midterm, like this, is it's your midterms to win at this point. Like you have the perfect platform to run on, right? You promised this and you didn't do it, and just have like those like fucking black and white campaign images of like or videos of him saying shit, and then the fact that he never did it, and then contrast that with, oh, we actually care about law and order and all. I think this, the January 6th stuff, I don't think hit. I think this is going to hit. I think this is going to hit a lot harder.
I tend to agree with your instinct here and your intuition on this. I think that, and I've been thinking this for a while, that the Epstein kind of just seals the deal for me, the Epstein stuff and the mishandling of the Epstein stuff, is that we're going to see a real big blue wave come the midterms. Now, that said, never underestimate the Democrats' ability to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory, okay? Never underestimate that. But yeah, I do think that this is something that's going to have lasting damage. And it's not just going to have lasting damage for the midterms. I think that it's going to be an obstacle to anything legislative in the future that Trump wants to do with his term. I don't think it's going to go away. I also think that this is going to stain everyone involved with this administration, J.D. Vance in particular, right? So his 2028 hopeful,
who's been very quiet,
right? Exactly, but that's part of the issue. Is if he wanted if he doesn't want the stink to stick to him, he's got to come out soon, right? He's got to come out soon saying, "Hey, this is not okay. We promise this. We need to get it done," and things like that. Now, if Trump was a smarter, politically more savvy person and he wanted his legacy, such as it is, to carry on, he would allow that battle, right? He would allow that J.D. Vance to kind of go against him on this to score those virtue points with his side. And that would almost seal the deal for J.D. Vance's nomination in 2028, I think. But that's not how Trump operates, right? That's never been how Trump operates. He's a very narcissistic individual, regardless of whether you like his policies or not. He's very much, if you criticize me, you were just not on the team, right? I don't know.
Yeah, and also I think maybe even more so than this betrayal. Again, insulting voters who cared about this, calling them weak and dumb, and calling them past supporters. You've already alienated a lot of people. Just that alone, right? Again, right? I mean, I'm not going to keep hammering on some of the bigger, like kind of the big Twitter names, but like even in our space, right? Like Rob Noor is probably one of the bigger, was bigger populist streamers, and he has been for days now, again, like being very critical of Trump for this, and he'll continue to be because you can't defend it, right? You have to call it out.
Well,
And
at
if Biden did it,
if
Biden did it, we would.
Yeah. 7:45, we're gonna see, right? We're gonna see if you can't defend this or not. Do you think that there's a way that Trump could fix this at this point?
Yes,
Wow.
yes.
What's
Okay.
the
I have a
path,
list.
right?
I have a list. I literally have a
list.
5-point list.
Okay, let's hear what you have
You
to
know,
say.
I've got a list, and I'm actually gonna
Release
release
the
it.
list.
I'm actually gonna read it out, okay? Because I don't hide shit. Let me just adjust the. Okay, so here are the 5 points. These are the 5 points that will, for me, earn some level of forgiveness, a sufficient level of forgiveness. Okay. A release of the client list. If none exists, an apology from Pam Bondi for saying that one exists and failing to clarify that it didn't exist, and for insinuating the Democrats were on it, followed by an immediate termination of Pam Bondi and a apology to Democrats. 2, a release of the thousands of pages of documents that Pam Bondi
Hold on,
said
can we
Kash
go one
Patel
at a
had.
time? Can we go one at a time? How
Sure,
likely
go
do you
ahead.
think an apology from Trump is going to be? Like, I think that's just a non-starter. It's just not happening.
I'm not, you asked me what I would
Okay,
need.
fair enough.
I'm not
You're
asking
correct.
you.
Yeah, fair enough. We didn't talk about whether this is likely. Okay, continue. Point two.
Yeah, I agree. It's relatively unlikely. 2, a release of the thousands of pages of documents that Pam Bondi referred to in that letter to Kash Patel on February 27th. If such documents do not exist, an apology, a statement from Kash stating that the thousands of pages identified by Pam Bondi did not exist, that her source was incorrect, that source being revealed, that source, Pam Bondi, both being terminated, and Kash Patel being terminated for not openly refuting that letter within a reasonable time frame. 3, a release of phase 2 of the information as promised. If there is nothing else to release, a explanation as to why a phase 2 is promised. And if no explanation exists, a apology and an immediate termination of Pam Bondi and Kash Patel. Assuming no client list and no thousands of documents, an apology from Trump to the Democrats, including Joe Biden, on behalf of his children, as well as the immediate termination of Pam Bondi, Kash Patel. And 5, this is the biggest one, and there is no argument for why this one can't happen. The appointment of a special prosecutor to double check everything above and investigate those 3 missing minutes of footage, to investigate all the claims that are being made before by Pam Bondi. Why can't that happen? Trump said he was open to that, and then he reversed. Why not? What's wrong with a special prosecutor?
You see, when special prosecutors get on the case, they might find things that you don't want them to find. That's probably why. Well, let's be real. I don't know. I guess I'm just not that shocked, though, because there's always been sus statements between in this kind of like really weird dynamic when it comes to Trump and Epstein. So I guess this just doesn't feel like such a betrayal or a shock to me. It's more like, oh yeah, I knew it, right? Kind of like a confirmation of suspicion that I couldn't really articulate a through line for, but something that kind of like, this smells fishy. Now again, I'm biased, to be clear, and you know I'm biased. I'm pretty anti-Trump, but this is something that's always kind of been like, am I the only one seeing this? Is it just me? And I don't know. It feels like confirmation that my instincts were correct. Again, because of how he's handling this. It seems like the stupidest cover-up of all time. Like the stupidest cover-up of all time. Like if he wanted this to die as a story, refusing to answer any questions and then saying things like, we shouldn't be talking about this, and if you're talking about this, you're my past supporter, and all these things, seems like the worst way to go about it, like the most stupid way to go about it. One of the more copium kind of things that I've heard from people is that this is like a 4D chess move, okay? That this is Trump just making sure it gets in the news. And then suddenly, after it's in the news, he's going to drop all these files, and then people will care about it. And the Democrats will have huge egg on their face, and then they'll be owned. I don't know, man. That just, I don't know. We're ranting.
Because, of course, telling your own supporters that they're weak and to not pay attention to this is a great way to draw attention to it. Yeah. Look, I mean, you guys are probably, you probably biased for sure. I definitely think that there's other examples where I think that the Democrat, like, we went over the New York case. I definitely think there has been lawfare against him that's been unfair. But this is something that I don't think that you guys are exaggerating. This is something that actually has, again, this is something that has legs. So, I've seen misfit pay. The only people I've seen defend, other than, again, randos on politics or Discord. The only people who I've really seen defend this, I'm sure there's more, but Misfit Patriot, I've seen he didn't necessarily defend it, but he has been sort of like, yeah, let's stop asking for it. And then Cat Turd has been openly in support
Sean Farash,
of
too. Who's
who?
Sean Farash? He's Misfits Patriot buddy. He's the other
Yeah,
guy.
and
who
Stephen
decided-
King.
Oh,
And Stephen King as well for
yeah,
some
that
very weird reason, because he's very critical of Trump on everything except
That's
for this.
also suspicious. I like a little alarm bells are going off in my head about that, right? Like, so I'm like, what? I'm waiting for a little more on that because that's the first alarm bell that rang, but it's a pretty big alarm bell, right? So I'm like, what? But anyway, continue, please.
It is. No, it is. It's very, I think, very strange that you have somebody. Because, yeah, if somebody's ultra biased against Trump, you would expect them to latch on to anything they could, right? And then just like, Nina Turner, for example, has been, I don't really like her, obviously, but she's been pretty good on this issue. It's hard to know exactly like how much of Democrats being cool on this issue is them actually caring, or as opposed to like, haha, fuck, yeah, Trump fucked up. We can jump on his shit now.
I think it's both, honestly.
Yeah.
I won't lie. There is a level of we got you, bitch, right? Like finally. But it also it's like backed up by you're covering
It's backed up.
the Epstein
But that's the thing. It's
list.
backed up, and Stephen King is like, guys, Trump's right on this one. He's good. Yeah, don't worry about that. Yeah, okay, all right, Stephen King. What's the kind of shit you were writing about back in when you wrote it? What was that? It's kind of fucking weird.
the little
Yeah.
child orgy they
He was a
had.
weird guy. He's a weird guy.
Look, I mean, I don't know. And that's at the end of the day, I don't know. I don't know if there's a list. I don't know what the lie is here. But what I do know is that the way Trump has been talking about this and handling this has been very, very, very not just suspicious, but seeming to be like counterproductive to someone who actually wants the truth to come out. But I don't know. It is 7:42. We got 3 more minutes. So, gang, just to let you know, Misfit Patriot has not bailed. He is still coming. 7:45 was the timing he said he needed to walk his dog. So, and I get it. I got a little puppy, Lola, and sometimes she needs out too. And if your puppy needs out, your puppy needs out. Puppy comes first. I don't know. So if you guys are, I know we haven't really gotten to the content yet, but if you're enjoying the pre-content, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Remember to send some super chats my way. That's how I get paid. PDX Pleb says, Wick, tell Lactoid to come talk with me on Socrates and to quit being a coward. Are you dodging this guy? PDX Pleb?
Is that Portland is burning?
I don't think so, no. I haven't seen Portland is burning in a minute. I hope he's okay.
PDX Pleb. Hold on. Is this like in your YouTube comments or something?
Yeah.
Let me check to see.
He's
if I
in
know
my
this person.
YouTube chat. Just chatting it up. Kamikaze says Lactoid's been avoiding so many people he doesn't know who it is. True.
Yeah,
Lactoid
you know
is
me.
famous.
Famous.
Famous Dodger. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You deleted your Discord? Oh no, Portland is burning deleted his Discord. Yeah, I saw that. I don't.
Oh.
If anyone knows, actually, if serious, I'm being serious right now. If anyone knows if Portland is burning is okay, I would like to know. Right. I considered him a buddy, and we'd talk on occasion, and he just one day just deleted everything: his Twitter, his Discord, and yeah. So I don't know. I hope he's okay.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't know who PDX Pleb is, and I don't believe I received any kind of challenge to a debate. But I hang out in I hang out in Wix Discord on occasion. We can chat and see if I know who you are. And,
Lobster says maybe Portland is burning found a chick. Well, he's married with kids.
He's married with a
so-
kid. Maybe that's why he deleted it. Maybe
Yeah,
just,
I mean,
he didn't have
could
the time.
be. I don't know. It's not. Maybe they went to a Coldplay concert one day and he got caught.
No.
But
Dude, it's been wild, like how much that's like gotten big. I feel like they totally fucked themselves by acting guilty.
Oh yeah. If you, it's the cover up's worse than the crime. Like if you were having an affair and then the spotlight gets shined on you, and if they had just played along with it, no one would have known, right? Or at least there's a very, very much smaller possibility that anyone would ever catch you, right? Someone you
Yep.
knew would have to have been watching at that exact moment on the screen, right? Which it certainly is possible. And I guess their buddies were with them, but their buddies were probably in on it too, right? Like they,
No, one of the girl that was on the board of directors as well. I'm pretty sure the third
yeah.
one. So it was like a work thing. Yeah, if you're cheating on your girl, act normal, right? I mean, as is the case
Lactoid's
in
giving you
most.
the, okay, tell
Yeah.
us, King. Okay, how do you cheat on your girl?
Well,
Give us
so
the
like, let's say
tips.
you're out with your side chick, right? We've all been there, and you don't want to draw unnecessary attention. Well, don't act guilty. Don't like try to hide and jump. Like, what are you doing? Uh, Ridiculous. He absolutely did that to himself.
That's what you get.
And now he stepped down. Too.
Well,
He's no
yeah,
longer CEO
because
of
he's
Astronomer.
getting he's probably getting a lot of flack, and probably rightly so. Look, I don't think infidelity is a crime. Like it's not a criminal thing, but it's still pretty shitty to do.
I think it should be actually.
In what sense?
If it's not a criminal, so let me clarify. I think there should be a legal action for infidelity, even if it's not like a criminal offense, like we don't lock you up or something. I think that the other party should be able to like sue for violation of contract. I think that would be fair.
I guess that isn't that sort of done in a divorce court, in a way.
Sort of. You can bring up infidelity as like like a kind of like a circumstance to like argue for better terms in a divorce, but I'm saying that like it should be a standalone action that would apply in either marriage or even even like a committed relationship, right? Where like the expectations like we're obviously proving that would be difficult, and the burden of proof
Sure,
would be on the
sure.
person suing, of course. But I think that there should be something in the law about that, because it's always struck me odd that we have all these legal prohibitions against breaking contracts with people over even small shit. Like if you sell somebody the wrong thing, right, they could sue you. But if you are cheating on somebody and lying to them
Do
for
you
4
have to?
years or something.
Yeah, but do you have to have been with someone for a certain amount of time? Like, say you meet a girl, okay? You talk for
Mhm.
a week. You decide to start dating, okay? And then a month in, you meet another girl, and you're like, oh fuck it, and you just start cheating and having a side chick. Would that, again, in your advocacy, would that count towards something that someone could sue you for?
We could monkey with it in terms of just like the length of time that you'd have to be in a relationship before like it was like some kind of implied contract, or maybe even require that it be explicit, or something along those lines. I don't know. But to me, again, it just seems like such a like strange thing that hearing that's so morally like reprehensible, but we just kind of treat it so flippantly.
Okay, well, that time killer topic aside, Misfit Patriot, how are you doing, sir?
Good. You got me?
Yeah, you're here. We can't see you yet, so if you want to turn in your camera, we are live on my channel, and people can see.
How do I turn on camera? Video settings.
It should just be like a camera button. You just click it. Looks like a
Hold on one
camera.
sec.
Yeah, take your time. Take your time.
Not used to Discord, and I just lost the Discord. Where the fuck are you? Where'd you go? You there?
Yeah, we're still here.
Where the fuck did it go? Oh, here we go. All right. I have no fucking idea what's going on here.
It should be on the bottom left of your Discord.
Yeah, now I'm in the setting. Oh, escape.
Yeah, get
There
out
we
of the
go.
settings unless
Yeah.
we need that. But there's a camera
Button and
There we go. Found it.
Ah,
Learned how to internet again.
your camera might be being used by a different application though.
Yep, probably Zoom. Get out of there.
then you'll have to turn it off and turn it back on. But
Ay. Quit this. The hell is Zoom? Yeah, the Zoom quit. All right. Allow while visiting this site.
Yeah, we got
Hey.
it. It works. You're here.
Dude, I talk about this pretty much on every single podcast I do. I don't know how to fucking internet. I don't know how to use the internet. I don't know how to do anything. I just do it. I'm fumbling my way through this.
Look, you know what? I empathize with you. I was trying yesterday on my stream. Someone wanted me to pull up a clip from something said earlier in the stream, and it took me 20 minutes to figure out how to do that. I had to outsource that to my audience to get that done.
I was doing my show for like 6 months, probably, maybe longer, where I would, in the morning, I would go and clip all of the stories that I wanted to talk about, and I just figured out like 3 weeks ago I could just go to like, what's it called, web browser, like mirror the web browser, and just do it that way. So that's how dumb I am.
Well, let's just get into it, right? My audience has been ready for this for a while. They've been asking, like, where's
Yeah,
Mr.
sorry about that, man.
Activity?
I was a little late on that, and then the dog started dancing. So
I get you. It's all, look, dogs, your pets, frankly, more important than a podcast, in my opinion, and family as well.
yeah.
It just matters more. But let's just get into it. So Lactoid here, he voted for Trump. Okay, he's a Trump voter. And he's been pretty critical of Trump's handling of the Epstein stuff. But I wanted to kind of get your, again, words from your own mouth. You've said that you've stopped asking about the Epstein Files, and you think people should stop asking about the Epstein Files. Is that an accurate representation of your position, sir?
Kinda, not really.
Elaborate. Like, then give us your take on this, please.
I think that we should accept that we're not gonna get something that doesn't exist. So stop asking for something that doesn't exist. If you wanna criticize Trump's handling, and especially Pam Bondi's handling, which has been atrocious, of the Epstein quote files, right? Then do that, which is, it's a fair criticism, right? They haven't really handled this well, but I think that people think that there is some smoking gun that the administration is covering up, and I really just don't think there is. I think that using common sense, critical thinking, deductive reasoning, Jeffrey Epstein was arrested like 18 years ago, right? The evidence went through 3 administrations. The smoking gun is gone. It probably did exist, by the way. I'm of the belief that Jeffrey Epstein did influence high-profile figures and blackmail them, and I believe that there at one time was probably the Epstein Files. I think that that's been in a paper shredder for a very long time, and it's long gone. So I don't understand what people want, is what I'm saying. Like, what do you want him to do? Like, seriously, tell me what you want him, Donald Trump, to do.
I guess the first thing I'll ask, and I'll give it over to Lactoid, who does have to go here in a few minutes, so I want to give him the majority of the time. But the first thing I will ask is, well, why do you think people believe that there was a smoking gun? What led a majority, I think, of the American public to believe that there was some sort of list that had a smoking gun that was like a list of pedophiles, to be frank?
There was a fucking island, bro. There was a whole island where they would like bring, like, there was cameras. All this evidence is in the court documents, by the way, which is in the 2 cases in New York. A lot of the people, not a lot, but a couple of the people that are on the quote list are redacted. And by the way, there is no list, right? People are framing this as Jeffrey Epstein had a little black book where he was like, these are all the people that I'm blackmailing. No, the quote list is the evidence compiled by the Department of Justice against Jeffrey Epstein, like his associates, based off of their investigation. And a lot of these people probably protected themselves. He probably didn't have hours of footage of every single person. The fucking painting of Bill Clinton in the dress with the red high heels on is fucking weird. So I'm assuming that there was, at one point, evidence on some people in that house or island, whatever. What was it? A man? I don't even know what the fuck it was. It was a weird looking house. And there were cameras set up, there were beds set up, there were definitely kids that were sex trafficked. We learned all this through the Elaine Maxwell hearings and criminal proceedings. But the evidence that people want is just gone. Like, it's just not there. So you can't ask Trump to give you something that he doesn't have, and it's not his fault he doesn't have it. We just had Joe Biden in the White House for 4 years. We had Obama before Trump. I don't see how people aren't putting this together. It's been destroyed.
Let's give it to Lactoid, and I'll let him take the reins here.
So, and I'm just going to make a few points, I guess, and then leave it to be one versus one, obviously, between you guys. But I mean, I think your take here is a lot more sane than I guess I was expecting. You're saying, hey, it's pretty bad. You want to be critical of Trump. You want to be critical of Pam Bondi. Then you can be critical of them. But for me, I guess I'm like more than that. Like I'm very critical to the point where like I'm upset, right? And I think that even if there is nothing for Trump to give, the way this has been handled is in of itself a scandal. And his response has been in of itself a scandal, where he's telling people who voted for him, who campaigned for him, like I did, going door to door, knocking for the guy, who, I thought believe, the shit that he was saying to some extent. He's saying, you're weak. You're weak, and you're a past supporter. I don't want your support anymore. Defending, falling on the sword for Pam Bondi, who I think you will agree absolutely blundered this, right?
Oh,
She
100%.
said she had stuff on February 21st that she never clarified. She sent phase 1 on February 27th, never provided phase 2. She sent a letter to Kash Patel on the 27th saying, hey, I heard you got a bunch of documents. Those documents were never provided. Kash Patel never clarified those documents. March 1st, after that letter, she's insinuating in public that the Democrats might be on the list. And this is happening, and nothing's coming out. And then all of a sudden in July, after, of course, the big beautiful bill gets passed, you have we're closing our investigation. There's nothing here. I think that there's enough here again to be a scandal, even if there's nothing for them to give. So, look, at this point, I either want the files or an apology. That's what Trump can do for me.
When did Trump ever promise you these? Like
No,
Pam Bondi, being upset at Pam Bondi is fucking. I'm upset too.
Yeah, but he's defending her.
He is, and it's not great. I would prefer him to fire her, and I think that she has put him in a position where you're upset with him, versus he put himself in a position where you should be upset with him, if that makes sense, right? Like, he is defending his attorney general that he picked, right? And he's trying to show a united front. And he's basically like a coach of a team whose quarterback just had a horrible game. And instead of joining in with the crowd being like, yeah, he sucked today, he's saying like, nah, he's great. Like, we're going to...
Instead, he's insulting me.
Well, hold on. Did he insult you? Because he made a general statement. Hold on. He made a general statement where if the shoe fits, wear it. Feel free to lace it up. But I'm talking about these people, right? If you want to believe you're the people he was talking about, that's on you. Because what I heard him say was some people who used to be supporters of mine who are criticizing me. I don't think he specified who he was talking about to the point where you can generalize. What I would probably assume he was talking about are the people like MTG and a couple of people who are high in Congress, like public figures. I don't really think that he was saying every single person that wants to see the Epstein Files is stupid. But if you read it that way and you want to believe that, then that's on you. I mean, I don't think that he insulted me. I want to see the Epstein Files. I don't think he was saying that I'm stupid. But
maybe you're not demanding it though in the same way that maybe I am, or like Matt Walsh is, or even MTG and Boebert, right? I mean, they're demanding it, and he's saying all my guys and gals, right? That's what he's referring to. They,
I think that Trump is rightly aggravated at the lack of appreciation for everything that he has done. And I think that he probably snapped a little bit, and maybe he should have phrased it better. But if you think about it, if you really try to break down what he was saying, he goes, are we still talking about this? All right, put it this way. How many victims of sex trafficking have been saved in the past 6 months due to Donald Trump's policies on the border?
I'm sure plenty.
More than Jeffrey Epstein raped. More. A lot more. And he's basically going, I fucking do this and it's not good enough. I do this and it's not good enough. You guys want to see the Epstein Files? And look, you have every right to want to see the Epstein Files. You have a duty to criticize your government and demand things from them. You have a responsibility to hold this administration and every administration accountable when one of the people in the administration comes on TV and says, I have this thing that I'm going to show you, and then doesn't fucking show you. That's Pam Bondi's fault. Right?
Oh, your camera.
Hold on.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
All right, I got it.
Back.
So if you look at everything, Donald Trump has literally brought up Epstein probably twice in his campaign. Right? He was asked about it on Fox and Friends. He was asked about it on the Lex Friedman podcast. He was dismissive both times of it. He said.
We just watched the Lex Friedman.
We just watch it. I agree that he didn't like commit to we're going to release all of it, but he did say, we're going to take a look at that. He never called it a hoax. He never called it a Democrat hoax.
He's not calling the Epstein Files a hoax. He's never called the Epstein Files and the Epstein criminal conduct a hoax. He's calling the weaponization of it from the Democrats a hoax, just like the Russia hoax, where it's like you have Gavin Newsom and fucking what was it? Was it Hakeem Jeffries? It was somebody. The guy that said Guam tipped over. You have the Democrats running around going, release the Epstein Files, and you guys don't get it. The reason they're doing that is because they are fully aware that all the evidence is gone. They know exactly where that evidence is. It's in a fucking incinerator. And they're like, let's use this to break apart Donald Trump's base. And you guys are playing right into their hand by like, you're joining with when AOC and Gavin Newsom and you are saying the same thing. Think about what you're saying. Right? Like, I'm not saying that you shouldn't hold Pam Bondi accountable. I'm not saying that you shouldn't criticize Donald Trump for defending her. I'm saying use your fucking head. You are being played by a group of people that is so dumb that you should understand that being played by them makes you dumb. Right? Like,
let me say a couple of things real quick. So Wick here can vouch for me. You and I don't know each other that well, Misfit, but Wick knows me decently well. And I absolutely have, on many occasions, called out the unfair lawfare against Trump when it was happening. The New York case, those 34 felonies, was absolutely ridiculous. I've had multiple debates on that subject. A lot of the legal accusations against Trump have been ridiculous. And I come into that and I have analyzed it, as somebody who's a professional in that field, and say, hey, a lot of this is bullshit. You guys are just grasping at straws. And I will agree that a lot of the Democrats here are just simply capitalizing on this and seizing on this because they don't actually have like a principled reason why they're upset with Trump. They just are grasping the opportunity of, hey, look, he did something bad. Let's jump on that. But I think you would be remiss to not acknowledge the very large group right now of principled conservatives. Again, I listed a couple. Not only, like, even in our space, right? Rob Noor, but also Matt Walsh. Right, like big name conservatives who right now are basically spam posting on Twitter. This is bullshit. You lied, because either there's shit they're not releasing. Matt Walsh is a pretty conservative guy. I think that's fair.
He's a conservative. I agree with him a lot of times, and I disagree with him sometimes. But he is a sensationalist. He is a clout chaser. He is a clickbait. He is a rage farmer. Matt Walsh's whole entire identity is to get people upset. That is what he's. 2 documentaries are literally framed about Matt Walsh getting people upset. It's his default setting. So he is going to use this story for content because he sees you're
This is
upset.
everybody on Twitter.
I mean,
You,
look,
you don't think Cat Turd tries to get people upset on Twitter?
I do the same thing, but I'm saying if you acknowledge it, don't say that.
So why is Matt Walsh less credible then?
Matt Walsh is not Matt Walsh is not upset. Matt Walsh knows you're upset, right? Like when you say credible, Matt Walsh is not necessarily credible. Like he's not a journalist. He's a documentarian slash shitposter slash troll. He's basically me. You shouldn't take me seriously either. So when I'm just trying to steel man your position, but I'm having a hard time because you're not quoting people that I would consider like true
Who
MAGA
would you consider true
credible
MAGA?
people. True MAGA credible people
Trump.
are no, I'm saying true MAGA credible people are standing by Trump and repeating, not blindly following or supporting, because I just told you I'm criticizing him. I'm criticizing him for defending Bondi. I'm criticizing him for, the way he's handling the fallout and not wording is like he worded his tweets to his supporters, quote supporters, a little poorly.
Quote?
Like he said he's not. Look, Trump is hyperbolic and generalizes, and why the left has attacked him relentlessly for years. They take him out of context, and now you're taking him out of context.
I'm not. This is him directly attacking his own supporters. You can look at that. You can look at the truth right now. Most of the comments are pose him.
He's attacking people that are not his supporters. He said,
because not anymore. Former supporters,
said
right?
Former supporters. So, if you're a supporter, he's not attacking you. Kind of. Like if you're
that's a no true Scotsman fallacy. Like in real time, right? Like you're not a real supporter unless you just agree with this, right?
No, it's not. I think that he was being specific in his own right to whatever person or persons he was thinking of. But you're the one who's putting yourself in that descriptor, right? Like
why would I do that?
Exactly. Why would you? I didn't. Like, why would you assume that one of my friends was like, Donald Trump said that he's done with me or something like that. And I'm like, he wasn't talking about you. And then I broke it down and he goes, you know what? Actually, you have a point. He's like, he didn't specify exactly who he was talking about. So when you make a post, all right, I do this all the time, right? I'm like, look, if you're one of these people, like I'm just gonna go with like a general, but you'll understand what I'm saying. If you're one of these blanks, right? Go fuck yourself, and then people will get upset, right? And they'll reply in the comment section like, "You'll fuck yourself too," and I'll be like, "See, so it looks like you're one of these people." And if you just aren't one of these people, nothing I said should offend you, and I do it constantly. And Trump is a very similar tone and rhetoric, and he's had this for a long time. He just generally uses it against the left, which is why we're okay with it. I think that you just need to learn to use discernment and like understand that if Trump is not contextualizing it, you don't need to add context. Right?
So this is a lot of things. And then I'll leave. And then you guys can have your conversation. I appreciate, Wick, you kind of letting me on to kind of be the little bit of an intro here.
You are a Trump supporter who I know has strong feelings on this, and I wanted that perspective.
Yeah.
But
you should have strong feelings on it, and you should be upset, like I said. You really should. It's just, I think that you're directing your energy at Trump when I think the energy should be directed at Pam Bondi.
It was initially Pam Bondi. And then he came out and defended her. He called the whole thing a hoax that he has not done before. Here's what I expect him to do. I expect him to fire Pam Bondi. I expect him to say, Pam, you messed up on the 21st of February. You messed up on the 27th. You messed up on March 1st. All these months in time, you were messing up because you didn't release phase 2. Sorry, you're gone.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's not what he did. That's not what he did. He defended her.
I do agree with you. Yeah. I do agree with you.
All right. Well,
Trump, not Trump. Lactoid, thanks for coming. I know you got another engagement you got to get to. Say hi to Prime Kai for me and all that.
Absolutely. All right.
I'll see you guys
All right,
later.
good talking, man.
But Misfit, if you wouldn't mind, I do have some questions for you along this line, right?
I'm gonna come at you even harder.
Oh, please
'Cause you-
do it,
'cause you're
because I am not a
you're
Trump
prob-
supporter.
You're probably one of these clowns that's trying to capitalize on it.
I mean, there is, and I'll be frankly honest
Hey,
with you.
I would do the same thing if I were
Yeah,
you.
frankly honest with you. Yes, there is a level of, wow, he has stepped in it so hard. We can use this. Yes.
Yeah,
But
you
the
should.
reason why it's effective, and I think this is where maybe you missed the mark. The reason why it's effective, and out of every single thing Democrats have tried to get Trump on over the many years, this is the thing that has real potential to actually fracture the MAGA base. When you have people like Lactoid, who I know you don't know, but he's pretty. Again, he was gung-ho for Trump in this election, right? You have people like Rob Noor, who I don't know if you know or not, gung-ho for Trump for years, okay? They feel betrayed. Do you not understand why they feel betrayed right now?
I understand completely. I understand that they're falling for a psyop and they're going with this mass hysteria, fucking fake outrage over the latest thing that is being weaponized. And I don't understand why my own side is acting like you. Like they're acting like the left acted for years. They have failed to recognize behavior that they called out and understand that they are now falling victim to that same behavior. Like when the left jumped on the fine people hoax, right? We looked at them like they were fucking retarded because they were. Donald Trump never said that neo-Nazis were fine people. It just didn't happen. He clarified, he corrected, but he's taken out of context. And now you see him tweets something like those fake supporters or former supporters. The left is like, he just said that about me. It's like I said, if he hasn't contextualized it, don't contextualize it.
Here's
Right? It's like
but it's more than the tweet. Isn't what it's obviously the catalyst for why a lot of people are mad right now. But the whole anger and upset and feelings of betrayal come because it is, again, from my perspective as someone on the left, the right has been putting this out there as the Epstein Files are being covered up by the government. We have tweet after tweet after tweet of people in the Trump administration, Kash Patel, Pam Bondi, J.D. Vance, saying, why aren't they releasing these lists? Why are they covering this up? When Trump gets elected, he's going to release a list, and finally there won't be any more obstacles. Pam Bondi again said, we have the list right with us on our desk, and then you get nothing. And not just nothing, Trump is acting guilty as sin. He's acting exactly like someone who was on the list would act. If they see Stephen King's backing him up. The guy who wrote the fucking
I know, Stephen King's retarded.
The child orgy thing.
the child
He's like, yeah,
orgy.
Trump's right in this case. You really shouldn't look into this list. Doesn't that give you pause?
No, Stephen King's trolling. How is Trump acting guilty specifically?
Simply by refusing to take look. If
I would just specifically,
I'm being specific as specific I can. So deflecting blame by calling this a hoax, a Democratic hoax.
What did he call a hoax?
The list. The fact that the list was written by Clinton and Obama.
No, he didn't. He did not call the quote list a hoax. What he said was, and Caroline Leavitt clarified this in the press briefing like a day later, right? He's talking about the weaponization of the Jeffrey Epstein list is the hoax, right? It was weaponized against him under Obama and Clinton. You remember when they were sharing the picture of him and Jeffrey Epstein together 30 years ago before Donald Trump found out he was a creep, kicked him out of his establishments, testified against him, helped the DOJ fucking put him in jail. Like, that is the hoax. The hoax is the utilization of this against Trump, not the fact that Jeffrey Epstein had a list of clients.
Sure.
And
I'm
again,
just going to quote you what he said. I'm going to quote you what Trump said verbatim.
Sure.
He says,
Go
for
ahead.
years, it's Epstein over and over again. Why are we giving publicity to files written by Obama, crooked Hillary, Comey, Brennan, and the losers and criminals of the Biden administration who conned the world with the Russia hoax, 51 intelligence agents, the laptop from hell, and more? This is his words. He is saying in this quote here that I'm giving to you, he is saying that the files were written by Obama, crooked Hillary, Comey, Brennan. So this implies a few things. It implies A, the files exist, and B, that they were written apparently in his mind, or he's claiming, by Obama, Clinton, Comey, and the rest.
You gotta
He's saying this
understand
directly.
Trump. No, you gotta understand Trump talk, right? What he's saying is the corrupt DOJ that weaponized the government against him would not have an accurate quote list, right? They would not have done their job and put together an honest, fair, and impartial investigation against Jeffrey Epstein, because Jeffrey Epstein was probably friends with them. So he's saying that the list that was put together by the two fucking administrations before him, and I understand that he was in 2016, but he was also dealing with 2 impeachments. He was dealing with a bunch of other shit, and his DOJ was pretty much rogue, and they weren't listening to him either. They were literally trying to lock him up while he was president. So he's saying that and I hate that they keep calling it a list. Let's call it the files.
Hold on. Trump is calling it a list. Trump is doing this.
No, Trump says a lot of stupid shit.
Okay,
he
but
doesn't. You take him literally when he talks, and the guy is not. He shoots from the hip. He always has. All right. He says he has these gaffes, and you try to pin him down on words. It doesn't work, right? Like, so use common sense to understand what Trump is implying instead of isolating a word and hyperfixating on it. Now,
I'm not.
Trump is saying,
Go on.
no. I'm not saying.
Finish your point, and then I have a counter. But go ahead.
In general, not you. In general, when dealing with Trump's words, tweets, whatever, a lot of people will isolate a word. Very fine people, right? They will isolate and they will focus. Take it in general as a whole and compare it to everything else he's saying is what I'm trying to say. Now, Trump is saying that the quote list, but let's call it the files because I think that's a gaffe. The files put together by Obama and Clinton are either not there, not reliable. He's used the word phony, like in his interview with Rachel Campos Duffy. He said there's a lot of phony stuff in there, right? So if he's saying there's phony stuff in there, doesn't know if he's going to release it because there's phony stuff in there.
What do you think the phony stuff is?
I think that they fucking destroyed evidence, covered it up, and put shit in there that
Like what?
wasn't there before.
What do you think that they put
I don't
in
know.
there?
I don't know.
It'd be nice to see it, wouldn't it? Just to see.
But you want to look at all the files, right? This is what people want. You want to look at all of the files. That has never happened in the history of this country. The government does not give you classified information. It does not give you investigations. It does not do that. They don't just give you shit because that's not how the world works. They don't say, like, there isn't like a portal where it's like, okay, here's everything that we got and let's all look at it together like one big happy family. No, we trust the government to handle that shit because we understand that it can be taken out of context. It can be, you would have vigilantes that are going after people they think are the fucking bad guy. There's child pornography in there. There's active investigations in there. There's classified information in there. There's all sorts of shit. Trump has released everything that he can release, all right? And the only shit that he can't release He's trying to release. He's trying to release the grand jury testimony. He's pressuring the judges in New York who have redacted the cases against the fucking Epstein associates. There's nothing there, dude. And this is for both sides. There's nothing there because it's been 18 fucking years that they have had to clean this shit up. Jeffrey Epstein was arrested in 2000 and fucking what? 8, 5, 7, something like that. So I don't understand why you people like the Epstein list was created by social media. Then they demanded that he give them something that they created. Trump never said, I have a list, I'm going to give it to you.
You mentioned common sense earlier. You mentioned common sense earlier, and I think that's a wise kind of base, at least in this, to go off of. And I'll just tell you straight up what my common sense is saying. Oh, this guy found out that either he or someone who he loves or wants to protect, I don't know, there is incriminating information on this list, and he is trying to run cover for that. That's just the easiest, most Occam's razor thing.
No, it's not.
In the
that's
world.
Confirmation bias. No, that's confirmation bias. That's not common sense.
I'm using his words, Trump's words, his behavior, his administration's words and behavior. And let's be clear, the right was the one that was pushing this for years. For over 5 years now, they've been saying, release the list. The list exists.
Hold on. Were you doing that before?
I was critical of Biden for not releasing more information. Biden administration said that they weren't doing it because there were ongoing investigations, which I don't know if I buy or not, but that was at least like, okay, fair. Okay, but when Trump came into office for the second time, he said specifically, right, that he, again, in the Lex Friedman interview, which we just watched, I got the clip up if you want to see it again, that he has no problem releasing this list and releasing this information.
Yeah, he has no problems. Like, look.
But it seems like he's having a problem.
All right, let's go back to common sense. Okay, let's go back to common sense.
Why would Donald Trump... euros, let me make a little money here. 50 euros from Zirian to say, you're a fool if you think I'll do a con's work for him. We are owed. These parties keep promising justice, and you know if they fail to deliver, you bet your arse, me and mine want our pound of flesh. Thank you for the 50 euros. Go ahead.
Okay, let's go back to common sense. Why would Donald Trump paint himself into a corner by saying he was going to release something that he couldn't release?
Because I think that he did not think it would be taken seriously. He's said a lot of things, and he's made a lot of promises that before he's been able to distract the public from. But I think that he underestimated just how seriously people take this. And that's why I think, I'm answering your question, why would he promise something that he wasn't going to deliver? I'm saying that he didn't realize that people actually cared about this like they did. And it was a miscalculation on his part. He made a mistake.
Come on, buddy. Come on. Let's go back to common sense.
That's the most common sense take in the world, friend.
Donald Trump said, he never promised to release any quote list, right? He never campaigned on it. He never made it a platform. It's not part of Agenda 47. But 2 different times when he was asked, right? He's like, yeah, I mean, I'll release it. Now, at this moment, when being asked a question, he does not know if there is or is not a list, right? He does not know any information because he's not back in the White House yet. So he just goes, yeah. He's like, yeah, I'll release it. Now, here's something he did promise. Promised to release the MLK files, promised to release the JFK files. He already released the JFK files, 88,000 pages of documents. The MLK files are being released as we speak. There is promises that he made, which he will keep. He never told you he was going to release a fucking Epstein list. It just didn't happen.
Let's watch the clip. I'll bring up the clip. I have it right here. Hold on.
I've already seen it. He says, yes, I guess I will release it.
Here, we could check. We can watch. It's not that long. Just give me 2 minutes, man. I think it's worth going and seeing from his own mouth what he has to say. So that way I can't put words in his mouth, you can't put words in his mouth, and we can just see what he had to say.
I've already seen it, but let's play it live so we can
just click
on the screen.
The button and it's on the screen and people can see. Right? Do you see do you see it on the Discord?
So I turn it on?
No, I turned it on. You just have to click it to watch with me. Oh, nope, not that. Do you not see it? It's in, if you look
I
at the
see it.
Discord,
There's no, it's not playing.
should be, yeah, because I haven't pressed play yet. I'm waiting for you to get it up.
Oh, no, I can see it. Sorry,
okay,
go ahead.
as long as you can see it and we can hear it, let's go.
There's a moment where you had some hesitation about Epstein, releasing some of the documents on Epstein. Why the hesitation?
I don't think I mean, I'm not involved. I never went to his island, fortunately. But a lot of people did.
Why do you think so many smart, powerful people allowed him to get so close?
He was a good salesman. He was, was a hale and hearty type of guy. He had some nice assets that he'd throw around, like islands. But a lot of big people went to that island. But fortunately, I was not one of them.
It's just very strange for a lot of people that the list of clients that went to the island has not been made public.
Yeah, it's very interesting, isn't it? Probably will be, by the way. Probably.
So if you're able to, you'll be...
Yeah, I'd certainly take a look at it. Now, Kennedy's interesting because it's so many years ago. They do that for danger too, because, endangers certain people, et cetera, et cetera. So Kennedy is very different from the Epstein thing. But yeah, I'd be inclined to do the Epstein. I'd have no problem with it.
That's great to hear.
Okay, see, it wasn't that long. We got through it.
Okay.
Let me finish my point, and then you
Go
can give me your interpretation of that. What I heard him say is that he'll look into it. He has no problem releasing it, and he probably will release it. That seems like a promise to me. And in addition, it's not just that, right? It's his handling of it after the fact. It's him saying, again, we support Pam Bondi in this. She did nothing wrong. And the list, again, the quote I read you earlier, the list was written by Comey, was written by Clinton, was written by Obama, was written by all these people who hate me. He's not denying there's a list. He's calling it a list. And he's saying that it's a hoax. He wasn't saying it there. Why did he change his mind?
Didn't. What did Lex Friedman say? List of people who went to the island. Okay, that's what Lex Friedman asked him. List of people who went to the island. Donald Trump released that in January. Was it January? I think no, February. February. It was in February. That he released the Phase 1 Epstein Files binder, which had every single person who was on Epstein's plane, including Donald Trump. Like, he released the list, and he was on it. He released all of that already. And then Lex Friedman also said, if you were able
Hold
to.
on. The Phase 1 that he released was more redacted than the public information we had before. Come on.
Yeah, but the
None of
list
that was
people,
new. None of that had not been released previously.
Hold on. The flight logs weren't redacted.
Okay, but
Flight
all that
logs-
information, no. Okay, Phase 1 had nothing new. There was no new information.
Didn't have anything new. It didn't. But hold on.
But that's what he promised in the Lex Friedman interview.
No, Lex Friedman said, if you were able to, and Donald Trump's response was, I'll take a look at it. That's not a promise. Hey, so we'd like to see the list of people who went to the island. If you're able to, would you release that? I'll take a look at it. That's what he said. So, no promises, but even though there wasn't a promise, Donald Trump gave everybody a binky. And even though the information was already out there, he goes, here's the list you want. It's all of the fucking flight logs. I'm on the fucking thing. Just because you were on Jeffrey Epstein's plane does not mean you fucked kids. But here's the quote list that you want. There is no fucking list, but this is something that you keep on screaming about. Here. And listen, again, this is Pam Bondi's fault. Because Pam Bondi folded to the pressure from a mob of retarded conspiracy theorists who keep on screaming about the fucking Epstein files while simultaneously calling Andrew Tate based. So I don't want to hear shit about how they care All right? They don't care about children, sex trafficking, or any of the fucking bullshit virtue signaling
You're actually
that
correct.
they
You're
are
actually
fucking
correct.
preaching
Many of
about.
the people on the left
They
don't
don't.
care about kids. They are just virtuous signaling. They are putting up and propping
on
up
the
people
right.
like Andrew Tate.
And on the
You're
right.
correct.
Yes, left
You're
and
correct
right.
on that. Look,
So
the left has its problems. We had shows about the left earlier. You can go and watch those, right? We
I
took
appreciate
Destiny to task and things like that.
You
But
and
today,
you and me are cool.
yeah, but today we're talking about Trump's handling this. And again, as Lactoid
I
said,
just told you.
you just told
just
me.
told
What did
you.
you just tell me?
I just quoted Donald Trump from the clip that you just played. I'll take a look. Is not a promise to release something, right? It means I'll take a look. It means I got more important shit to do, but I'll check it out. It took him a few months, less than 6 months. He checked it out. And what did they come up with? He came up with, "Hey, it's already been destroyed. This is all we have." And what we have, Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself, even though he
didn't say it
clearly
was
did.
destroyed. This is something that you are saying.
No.
What
he
is
didn't say
saying
that.
is that it
He didn't
exists.
say-
And again, he's saying it exists, and he's saying
He
it's
does,
fake,
no.
that it's a hoax made up
How is-
by
how-
and
how is some-
written by Clinton and
How
things.
does something exist and is fake at the same time? He's saying it's fake.
Look,
He's not saying.
I think they knew I was getting too close to the truth. Okay, they tried to take me out. They tried to silence me.
I don't know what you heard, but Donald Trump did not say it's fake, or he didn't say it's real and imaginary simultaneously. You're hearing what you want to hear. What he said was the hoax is the weaponization of it. Right? The quote files are real in the sense that they are a collection of information based off of over a decade of investigations.
Look,
That's
I
real.
realize
Donald
it's
Trump
not a
is-
scroll. I realize it's not like this scroll with a list of names. I realize it. Yes, when
Yeah.
I am talking about, I want to see the Epstein list. What I am referring to is the evidence that it was collected that implicates, apparently, different people and different associates of Epstein who were also involved in kid diddling. Basically,
You understand there's already been trials, settlements, NDAs, there's been victim testimony, there's been court cases. Ghislaine Maxwell isn't sitting in jail because something didn't exist. They've already done this. And they've done this already ad nauseum. What I'm saying is the quote list that people want is the list that doesn't exist. Right? It's like you want Donald Trump to provide something to you that is not there. So how can he do that?
again,
How is he going to manifest this?
he is not saying it's not there. Trump is not saying it's
He
not there.
is.
Yeah,
He
I
said
just read you his quote. He's saying it exists, but it's fake. It's a hoax.
that's a contradiction. He's not saying that because how can you?
It's a fake
How can
list.
you say
The list that exists is
Okay.
fake, is what he's saying.
I think that people are all right. You understand what a leading question is, right?
I do.
Okay. And you understand when somebody responds to a leading question.
I understand that
Responding
these
to
are
the
leading
question.
questions, right? But go ahead.
Yeah, but I'm saying they're responding to the leading question, not reality. So it's like when did you stop beating your wife is a leading question, right? Right. So
days ago.
if you've never beaten your wife and you respond like I never beat my wife, like I don't know. It's weird, right? But what Trump was asked, where is the Epstein list? And he goes, the list is fake, right? So he's responding to the question. I think what he meant to say is, and I'm like, maybe I'm just giving him benefit of the doubt,
I think you are.
but I think no. But based off of my common sense, right? I think that he was saying the list is the weaponization of it, right? So there is no list.
I'm just gonna be real with you, man. This is
You said scroll.
I'm gonna be real with you, man.
You just said
Have you
there's
ever read
no. You said there's no
1984?
scroll.
Have you ever read 1984? Have you read that book?
Long time ago.
Long time ago, yeah.
back in
There's
high
a
school.
scene in this book where they're having this rally, this political rally, where they're showing support for the country that the bloc, if you will, that they're supporting, East Asia versus those evil Eurasians. Okay, And in the middle of this rally, someone comes up to the speaker, whispers something in his ear, and suddenly they're like, well, actually, the Eurasians are our allies and East Asia is our enemy. And East Asia has always been our enemy and Eurasia has always been our allies. And this flip on the dime kind of flip of a script, that's what it feels like is happening. It feels like it's flipped on a script.
Honestly, it feels the exact same way on our side, and that's the funny part of it. So we're both seeing two different realities.
I can give you tweets. I can give you tweets from the Biden administration years where I'm calling for the release of the Epstein list. I'm not changing my tune.
Look, I appreciate that, and you'll see tweets of me saying release the Epstein files.
Yeah, but but that's the thing. Now you're saying I'm not asking for it anymore, and now I'm curious as to why.
No. See, that's the difference between me and everybody else. I am admitting to the entire internet that when I was screaming about the Epstein files, I was jumping on board with a bunch of people that were screaming for the Epstein files. And now I have woken up to the reality that there are none. Right? Like there aren't. They don't exist. I can admit that I'm wrong. You people can't. Right? Because everybody promised their followers, there's this list. Everybody did their own fucking research and they went down every fucking rabbit hole and they invested so much. They put so much equity into this, which is why they care about it. They don't care about children. They don't care about sex trafficking. They care about their conspiracy theory coming true. And that's the thing. What Jeffrey Epstein did was horrible, right? There was definitely a cover-up. There was definitely high-profile, very influential people that were raping children on his island. And when I say definitely, this is technically my opinion, but I think, again, common sense. The list, however, of those people was destroyed by those people. Donald Trump is not one of those people. Donald Trump has been in office for 6 months. He had one administration where he didn't care about it, right? Joe Biden, George Bush, Barack Obama. All three of those fuckers were president while Jeffrey Epstein was either under investigation or arrested, and none of them put out it. Right? None. So, I don't fucking want to hear about this list because I can use common sense to understand that 17 or 18 years is more than enough time to figure out how to work a paper shredder.
I find it frustrating. The frustrating part of this is you're giving
super frustrating.
Yeah, you're giving infinite charity to Trump here, and you are claiming, right? You are claiming that the Democrats destroyed it. And there's no evidence that that's the case. But we have circumstantial evidence that the case is that Trump is probably covering this up. And the circumstantial evidence I will give you is Pam Bondi's statements, Pam Bondi's letters. Again, Pam Bondi was appointed by Trump. He works for Trump. To an extent, you are responsible for the behavior of your employees.
I can give you a way better explanation for Pam Bondi. Pam
Bondi what is your explanation? I'm curious. What is your explanation for Pam Bondi?
Pam Bondi loves seeing her face on fucking Fox News, right? Pam Bondi watches social media, she reads all the fucking tweets, and she loves seeing her face on fucking Fox News.
I would agree with that, but I don't think that's enough.
She was reading a whole bunch of fucking tweets about release the Epstein files, release the Epstein files. They had a big push at the beginning of this administration, which I thank God they have backed off of, called the new media, right? They were talking about the new media, which is basically podcasters and influencers.
The Tucker Carlsons and stuff like that.
The Benny Johnsons and the fucking retarded clout-chasing clickbait cunts that they thought that those people were going to have integrity, and they don't. Right? And these people are conspiracy theorists and they're fucking sensationalists. And Pam Bondi was looking at all of them. And she was going, okay, I know what you guys want. You want the Epstein files. And then she had an opportunity to jump on a fucking camera and say, I have the Epstein files, because somebody probably told her.
So do you think she just lied about it? Did you
No,
think that was
yeah.
just
Well,
a
yeah,
lie?
I think yes, I think she just lied. I think that she literally lied. She said, "I have the files on my desk," because she thought files were going to be on her desk. And then the next day, I don't know if you remember, but the fucking the New York FBI field office was refusing to release the documents that she said that she had. And then they had to fire somebody at the head of the New York field office
For not releasing
because
the files that don't exist?
exactly for not releasing the files that don't exist, because those fucking files don't exist. That's exactly right. They fired him because Pam Bondi asked him for files. She then went on TV and said she has the files. She jumped the gun. Right? Then he either destroyed or helped destroy or was part of the destroying of the files. And then she goes, "Hey, now I don't have any files to give, and I just told the entire world that I have files." It makes way more sense.
If
You gotta
that's
look at
true,
it like
I
this.
will just grant you all that because that's possible. It's very possible that
It's very
what you were saying
possible.
right now is exactly what happened. I think that that fits in a way. I don't know
does.
if that's the case, but it would fit. It would make sense. And I think even in this case, Trump deserves a large share of the blame because he's covering up for a liar.
Oh,
He's protecting a liar.
He deserves criticism.
He doesn't just deserve criticism. If
No,
you're an
he does.
employee, if you're in charge, and you know
fire
one of your subordinates is lying to the American public, which you have been elected to represent, and you were let them lie to the American public. Who else is
Trump
he protecting that is lying to the American public? Who
Donald
else?
Trump should fire Pam Bondi.
And if he
We are
doesn't,
in
what
agreement.
should happen to Trump?
I mean, I don't know, man. It's kind of like,
Do you think nothing should
doesn't-
happen to the guy? I don't think so. I think that behavior.
I mean,
that
I
is
think
rewarded
no, I
is
think
behavior
I
that is
think that his
repeated.
credit. No, I think that what happens to him is his credibility takes a hit, right? Which is a fair criticism. That's what happens when all right. So when I can look at this and say, as a Trump supporter, I want you to fire Pam Bondi, and then Trump says, I'm not going to do that. I go, okay, well, I'm going to look at this the same way I looked at how you handled bump stocks, fucker. But that's how things work on the right. We don't need a perfect president that does every single thing.
This isn't just bump stocks. This isn't just a minor
I think
policy
that
issue.
I think bump stocks was way more important. I think that Trump banning bump stocks is 1,000 times
You
more
think that the
important
banning of bump
than
stocks is more
firing
important than the possible either lying about kids being raped or covering up kids being raped?
Okay, all right. So let me give you an analogy. Okay, let's say you own a company. Okay, I own a company, so I can actually I can empathize
I own Wick
with this.
TV, which isn't really a company, but yeah, whatever. Go ahead.
Let's say you own a company with actual employees that go to work and in the real
Oh,
world.
I don't work,
right?
so
And
go ahead. Yeah, please.
let's say one of them fucks up, right? And let's say you like this person. Let's say it's your friend. Let's say it's like somebody that you personally trust, and you personally have an experience with that person where you've seen them do really well, and they had one really, really bad fuck up, right? Would you fire them? I don't think I would.
If my
think I would-
whole company is about protecting the public from lies, and then one of my employees, no matter how much I like them, does the exact opposite
again-
of that, and yes, they
again,
go
right?
away. Even if they're my friend, they go away. Because again,
Again-
this isn't, hold on, this isn't, if I can finish, please. This isn't just a company. This is something where the American public has put their trust in the
Country is a
President of the
company.
United States to not lie to them. They don't like that. A lot of MAGA, a lot of my friends like Lactoid, right? They voted for Trump because they were tired of being lied to by the administration, or what they felt were lies. And so when you
Trump hasn't
have
lied.
Trump protecting either A, lying himself, there's only two options here. He's either A, lying himself, which I think is probably the case, but fair enough. Or he's protecting someone who he knows lied.
I think it's number 2, but either way, right? Like,
Yeah, either way, it's a horrendously bad thing and a betrayal.
Hold on. Let's go.
It's a
Let's go
betrayal.
back to the lie. Okay, let's go back to the lie. And I'm not making excuses for Pam Bondi. Really, I'm not.
But Trump is.
But did hold on?
But Trump is.
Hold on. Okay, I'm not making excuses for Pam Bondi. But was this lie nefarious when she said they're sitting on my desk? Was it like a I'm gonna lie to the
Yes, because he
American
said the
people?
Democrats were on it.
Hold on. Let me finish. Let's go. Pam Bondi fucked up horribly, right, by lying. But did she believe the fucking files were on her desk? Or that they were at least going to be on her desk. Because if she believed that the FBI field office in New York was going to send them, and her big crime is she lied about them being there at that moment when she really thought they were going to be there, no, I don't think it's that I don't think it's that bad. But again, I still think she should be fired.
Sure, fair enough.
So
but it's not. I just want to. I think that it's not just that one comment. It's repeated comments over the course of weeks that she has made, and she has used this, and others in the administration have used this to accuse Democrats of being on the list, saying, we got you now, fuckers. We know you're on this list, and we have this list.
Do you think
accusing someone of being a pedophile, a politician of being a pedophile, saying you have evidence when you know you do not, do you think that is worthy of...
Who did that?
Pam Bondi.
Against who?
Again, not on the 27th, but or the 21st or 27th, whichever day she said that, but on March 1st and in other things, she heavily implied that there were Democrats that were on this list.
She implied there were...
I will get you the exact quote. Hold on.
No, go on. But she didn't say this specific person is a pedophile. Okay. Because that's where you have me confused. Do you think Karine Jean-Pierre, Nancy Pelosi, fucking pretty much every Democrat should have been fired for saying that Joe Biden was mentally fit? You think every single Democrat...
I would be hesitant to, like, if they were in a primary, I'd vote for their opposition, right? The people who lied about that, I would vote for their opposition.
Okay,
yeah, because they lied. And people who lie should not hold public office, in my opinion.
Well, fucking good luck with that, dude. Everybody lies. But
why do we accept this? Why do we accept this? Everybody lies. We should not.
We shouldn't. Right? I try not to lie. I'm very good at it. I very rarely lie. I lie about stupid shit. Like, I'm on my way, right? But I don't lie about big shit. I try not to anyway. That being said, right? We need to understand what a lie really is. What is Go ahead. No. I'm saying, like, when you believe something, right, and you say something, and the thing that you believed turns out to not be true, it's not a lie, and we constantly throw that around, like we know what these people were thinking. Pam Bondi very well could have thought there were files on her desk. Maybe she did, right? So when you say, like, definitive assertion, and look, I'm agreeing with you, by the way, so don't jump at me. Then what I'm saying, I'm just trying to give you the idea that maybe Trump is viewing this in a different way, where he's just viewing it as, she made a stupid mistake, and I don't really think this is a fireable offense. Right? I'm just giving him, and you're right, I do give Trump a lot of benefit of doubt. I really do, because I'm looking at his overall record.
Do you think this might be coloring your read of this situation? Like, I would take your criticism, and I would take other people's criticism that, hey, Wick, you don't like Trump, so maybe this is coloring you, and that's fair. A fair thing to say.
I don't think I'm not like Cat Turd where I'm saying Trump can do no wrong. I just said I agree with you.
Yeah, but
I think
you
Trump
don't think anything should really
Pam Bondi.
happen about it, and you think the bump stocks are
about
worse.
this? I think no, dude. I mean, I want Pam Bondi fired. Right? That's what I want.
Sure.
Right? Do I think
about
that
Cash
Trump
Patel?
needs... Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Kash Patel is on camera on the Joe Rogan podcast saying something completely different than he said in a different interview. I think that Cash and Pam are probably intentionally lying. I think that Trump is looking at it like they're doing a good job on a bunch of other shit, and I don't think that that's big enough of an offense to fire them and go through the entire process of replacing them. By the way, he's also looking at it that way, where he's like, I gotta fucking that's the attorney general. Like, I gotta you know how hard it is to fire an attorney general over a lie? Yeah, it's bad. I don't know if it's fucking this bad. So, but yeah, no, I think Kash Patel lied. I think Pam Bondi lied. I think that Trump is not necessarily like covering for them. I think he's trying to show a united front. And I think that Trump doesn't want to give, I think that Trump's being swayed by not wanting to give the Democrats a win. So that's clouding
Bro,
his judgment.
he's giving us a win here. We are getting the biggest W of our lives right now.
If he fires Pam Bondi, you get a bigger win.
That's not true. That's not true.
No, it is.
That would.
It's 100% true.
Before you came on, I asked Lactoid what he would take because I was very curious. Like, what would it take for you to come back on board with Trump? Right? What would he need to do? And point number one, there was a couple points, but point number one was to fire Pam Bondi. Him firing Pam Bondi would be the first step to actually getting this thing back on track for Team MAGA. That would be the move, right? I am telling you right now as a Democrat, trust me on this at least, if nothing else. As a Democrat, I am looking at this from a purely political, like, take away my moral disgust at this, right?
I see what
and
you're saying.
look at the political, like, yes, please do this more. I will. There's a reason we keep talking about it, as you said, because again, I'm with you that half the people talking about it on either side don't actually care, right? They don't. This is just team sports. Yeah. We can agree on that. But I'm telling you, from team sports perspective, him not firing Bondi, him doubling down, and him treating it like he has given us the hugest win that we've had against Trump since we beat him in 2020. It's just crazy. Crazy.
Okay, now game this out, right? He fires Pam Bondi. Okay. What do you think happens the very next day?
The very next day, he puts up his new appointee.
No. Democrats. Democrats. What did Democrats do the very next day?
Okay. What Democrats do the very next day is they try to use it against Trump. But I'm telling you. But here's the thing. They're going to use him not doing it against Trump even more effectively. Look, this is the same argument I had with Destiny the other day. Because Destiny said, well, it doesn't matter what jokes I make. The Republicans are always going to use my words against me, whether I use jokes or I don't use jokes. But I told him, and the same thing I'll tell you, like, not all ammo hits the same, right? Not everything hits the same. And I'm telling you right now, him trying to him scapegoating Bondi and firing her would be a much better, more politically savvy move than whatever it is he's doing. So it leads me to believe, right? This is my conspiracy brain a little bit here, tinfoil hat time, but walk with me, is he promised Pam Bondi something, right? He promised protection for her doing this, for her kind of taking the hit on this one. And I don't know what she gave him in return. I'm very curious. I think I know, right? Like, conspiracy thing is like, oh, they found out that Trump's fingerprints were all over this list, and so they're trying to cover it up, right? That's just the common sense approach.
That was if that were true, he probably wouldn't have said, "Yeah, I'll look into it," or "I'll release it." But look, here's the deal. Well,
he didn't have access at that time when he said that. I think that
now we're
he didn't
finally
know how
in agreement.
big of an implication he had.
Now we're finally in agreement that he didn't know what he couldn't deliver. All right.
But when he saw it and realized he was implicated, then he's covering it up, and that's worse.
You're told that's literally baseless, like, in every single sense of the word.
Man, you've been here and you've been saying that the Democrats destroyed the evidence with no basis.
Hold on, if Trump was in it, or if his fingerprints were all over it, common sense would tell you that Democrats would have released it.
Again,
that's-
the Democrats didn't weaponize the DOJ in the way that Trump has. I know you guys say that, but
What are you talking
I'm
about?
telling you,
No fucking
again,
34 felony indictments. They
hold
fucking-
on. That wasn't okay. The New
over a
York case
check.
was the New York case. The New York brought that
All right,
case against Trump.
Comey, Brennan, Clapper, the Obama officials were just referred to the DOJ for criminal indictments or for criminal charges yesterday, right? From Tulsi Gabbard, the DNI.
Do you think that anything's
Spygate-
going to happen with that? I don't. I don't think there's going to be a single goddamn arrest
probably.
because you know what it is? It's a look over there, don't pay any attention to the Epstein files, and then a boom, run in the other direction. It's jingling keys. It's a distraction.
It could be. Very
It
well
absolutely is.
Could be. But is it true? Yeah, it's true. Right?
Okay.
Like, look at sometimes you go, hey, you know that card we've been holding on to? It's a real card. All right, it's an actual card that will really help our hand, but we just haven't pulled it yet. Sometimes you just go, hey, pull that card. People are getting a little antsy about this Jeffrey Epstein shit. Maybe the shit that we were going to drop soon, we should drop now. That's what I think. In all honesty. Now, look, Trump.
Okay.
If Trump's fingerprints were all over, I've heard like Jeffrey Epstein introduced Melania to him or shit like that. Like I've heard
I
all
don't
the
know about
conspiracy
any of
theories.
that, right? So.
I've heard all the conspiracy theories, right? And all I can tell you is if the administration, if Hillary Clinton, who deleted 33,000 emails off of her fucking server to get out of the bullshit that she was into, Comey, Clapper, Brennan, and all the people, all the fucking big ups that weaponized the Department of Justice against Donald Trump over the past decade. If they had Donald fucking Trump in any fucking way possible connected to Jeffrey Epstein after he kicked him out of his fucking club in the 90s, we'd know.
No, here's the problem
That's
with
common
this
sense.
way of thinking. Here's the problem with this way of thinking. If Biden administration had released it, no one would ever believe it from your side. It would be forever tainted. They were in
Your
a rock
side
and a hard
would
place. They could
believe it.
never release it because it would never
You
be
need
believed.
to prove it. You need to prove it. If you release something, look, are you saying that?
I don't think
are
there's
you
anything
saying-
on the.
Hold
Hold
on,
on, let me
hold
just
on,
clarify
hold
my
on.
position here.
Are you-
I don't think there's anything on the list that is prosecutable to the extent where you can
But,
prove it
hold
in
on.
court
Are you saying that Joe Biden
because they would have
had
charged. him.
evidence? Hold on. Are you saying that Joe Biden had circumstantial evidence that Donald Trump was in connection to a pedophile sex trafficking ring and didn't release it? Are you saying that that's a responsible thing to do? You don't think the American public deserves to know that? You don't think that? No?
I
Okay,
don't know
That's what I thought.
if that's what it is. But again, if you think that the responsible thing is to release a list, then yes, I agree with you.
I think the
and they should
responsible
do
thing-
that, and Trump should do that.
Trump
$2 from
did.
Josh to say, does he think, and I'm assuming he is you, to say, do you think Pam Bondi is DEI? Do you think she's a DEI hire?
Oh, I mean, actually, maybe a little, kind of. I
Yeah?
think that no, but I think that Trump wanted to have a female a lot of female in the administration. I think I don't think that that's the same as hiring somebody only because they have tits. I think that he wanted Matt Gaetz. Thank God that didn't happen.
I
He
agree
wanted
with
Matt
you there.
Gaetz.
Matt Gaetz is. Could
Matt
you
Gaetz is a
imagine Matt
fucking train
Gaetz
wreck.
doing this with the Epstein list? Can you just sit with that for a
Christ.
moment? Right, I agree with you on that.
I would be on your fucking team. I think that Trump, the biggest criticism that I've had about Trump, which is very consistent since 2016, is he is not good at picking people. He really isn't. He is a very loyal person, and he's a very optimistic person, and he's also a very self-grandizing, narcissistic person. So when somebody likes him, right? When somebody supports him, he likes that person. That's not good, right? That's not a good thing. It's not a good thing to be like, you know what? You like me. I like you too. Want to be attorney general? That's a horrible thing. So I think that he sees loyalty in Pam Bondi. I think that they have a long relationship, and I think he hired her because she was the second best option. But as far as her being a DEI hire, I would say that it didn't actually affect the decision, but he probably looked at it, probably thought about it like, oh yeah, no, that's good. She's a woman.
Okay.
All right,
So
I gotta run soon.
yeah,
but let's.
that's what I was thinking. Like, I don't want to. I'm not Hamas. I'm not going to hold you hostage, right? But
No,
I
but I mean, look.
Go ahead.
Here's what I'll end with. Okay.
Closing statement. Go
I
ahead.
think
Go
that-
ahead.
I think you have some valid criticisms, right? I think that you're a little misguided, and I think that you're biased, and I'm biased too. So can't fault you for being the opposite of me. I think that you're looking at this through the lens of highly critical. I'm looking at it through the lens of benefit of doubt, and I think that both of those are valid ways to look at it. What I don't think is valid are the people on the woke right and woke left, both sides of the extreme, who are weaponizing this for clicks, views, engagement, and what have you. I think that Donald Trump saying that it's a hoax is very clear, which was also clarified by Caroline Levitt. He is not saying that the Epstein Files are a hoax. Files exist. They're already released. We had phase 1, which was the flight logs, which we already knew about. I get it, right? That was a binky. We have the grand jury testimony that he's trying to release. It's really not something that he's kind of like allowed to, like he can ask for it. Then you have the judge in New York who has redacted I believe it's two of the Jeffrey Epstein associates. And you want to put pressure on that guy, fucking, hey, I'm right there with you.
Do you think Trump should publicly call for that to be unredacted?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea. And I also think that Trump doesn't care about this because a lot of fucking people don't. And I think that that's an okay thing to be okay with, right? I think that people are selfish. I think that people don't care. And I don't think that that's wrong. They want their fucking grocery bills lowered. They want their taxes lowered. They want their communities safe. They want like energy independence. They want a bunch of shit. And other than the online social media bubble, nobody really gives a fuck. Like and again, I care about sex trafficking. I have made it one of the main staples of my platform. I'm being sued by Andrew Tate for calling him a sex trafficker.
He's a sex trafficker. Andrew Tate is a sex trafficker.
Yes, I am being sued by a sex trafficker. He calls himself a sex trafficker. He's charged with sex trafficking, and I am being sued. So anyone coming at me going, you don't care about sex trafficking, I cared enough about it to risk a defamation case. So I've brought up Tim Ballard with Operation Underground Railroad, the Spear Foundation. I've put a lot of attention to sex trafficking. But I don't care about this case because I am being pragmatic and I am compartmentalizing. I can see that even myself was fooled by asking for the Jeffrey Epstein files when I should have probably been like, those things are fucking destroyed, right? And I didn't. I was right there with you guys. And I think that letting it go is not going to be the end of the world. I think we should let it go. I think that it's pretty much over. This is going to turn into the USS Liberty, the JFK assassination, Tower 7 on 9/11. It's going to turn into one of those things that a small handful of people obsess about over the next 20 years. And I don't have the fucking mental real estate to do that. So I'm just trying to let you know now that I'm signaling that I'm already over it. As far as talking about the reaction to it, I'm not done with that. I'll talk about that all fucking day.
Okay.
You guys are fucking funny.
I know you have to go, and I'm gonna give you. Well, you just had your closing statement there, but gang, if you want to find him, I have a link to his YouTube channel in my description, and you can click that.
I don't go on YouTube. Rumble.
Rumble. Give me your Rumble link, and I'll post that. I can change the description. Right. So
I'll send it. I haven't been on my YouTube in months. It's rumble.com/TMP uncensored. I do my shows.
Yeah, give me the. You're gonna have to just give me the link on Twitter or something. I can add it to the thing. But I'll say this before you have to go. There's really two possibilities here. Either they lied that the list existed, or they're lying now to cover it up. And either way, Trump, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, all of these individuals, it really doesn't look good for them, and there needs to be accountability. I'm tired of people in government and positions of power
I can agree
not
on
being
that.
held accountable for what they did, and I think that you should care about this because this isn't a hoax. It isn't something that was made up. It's not like the fucking Tower 7 or whatever. It's not like these conspiracy theories. This actually happened. We have convictions in court of this actually happening. And the only question in my mind now is, did Trump lie initially, or is he lying now? And I don't know. But thank you for being here. I do appreciate you coming on and talk about this, and we'll talk to you later. Okay, buddy?
All right, bro. Later.
Boy, oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, did you enjoy that? Did you, look, that was a lot. I didn't have to push back much because I just let him go, and I think that you guys could see it in real time what was happening. Like, did I need to spell it out to you, or did you guys pick up on it? I never know what the move is, right? Do I point out everything like as it happening, or do I just kind of let it go and let you kind of watch? The fact that he cared so much before, and he cares about all these other instances of sex trafficking, and yet when it's Trump, he suddenly doesn't. That's a black mark on his character, in my opinion, frankly, right? When it's the politician that you support, right, does something wrong, and it's a wrong thing that you've criticized others for doing when they've done it, right? When there's evidence of them doing it or connections, circumstantial or otherwise. And suddenly when you have all of this about Trump come out, and his reaction, and suddenly you're just, well, I'm done with it. I'm just don't have the mental energy to deal with it right now. I don't know, man. I think that's bad. Alexander Rin for $10 to say, if you don't want to be offended, just choose not to include yourself in the group he was talking about. Yeah, that was a weird thing to say to Lactoid. And the idea that Trump stopped sex trafficking, and so we should give him a break on the Epstein stuff, doesn't pass muster to me as well. The question becomes, like, how many people is he allowed, how many kids is he allowed to diddle if he stops 10,000 sex traffickers? If he saves 10,000 children from being sex trafficked, how many is he now allowed to diddle and us to just kind of turn a blind eye to? What's the answer to that question in your mind, gang? Yes, KO Dave. The answer is 0. None. I don't care how many people you saved, right? If you were diddling kids, you need to get out of there. I don't care if you cure cancer. I don't care if you, like, fucking solved you made peace in the Middle East, right? You solved the Israel-Palestine conflict and you saved everyone, right? If you're fucking kids, you should be prosecuted and held accountable. I don't care what else you do. I don't know. It's this running cover, running defense, running these kind of mental pretzel ways of looking at the world, giving infinite charity to Trump while, again, making, I consider, baseless accusations against Democrats at the same time. I think it was pretty clear. I couldn't be happier with how that conversation went from my side. Like, from a team sports perspective, I can't be happier with how that conversation went. I think it exposed. There's usually people in my chat, YouTube chat especially, okay? There's usually people calling me retarded, okay, for my take. They're saying, you're stupid for your take, Wick. You're wrong here, okay? I didn't see any of y'all, okay? I didn't see a single person, okay? On Misfit's side. Not a one. Not a one. This idea that no one cares about this issue also is laughable. It's laughable. I don't know. Everyone cares about this issue. It's one of the most salient issues in politics. Everyone, left, right, and center, cares about children. This is what, look, it's a reason why when Destiny jokes about dead kids, it's really, really bad because everyone left, right, and center cares about kids. We care about children as a society, right? When children are hurt, we look down upon that. When children are threatened, we look down upon that. When children are sex trafficked, that is seen as rightly so, as unforgivable in a lot of ways. This is one of the most salient issues in politics today. It's not going away. People aren't going to stop talking about it. I think the MAGA base is fracturing over this, right? And even if it doesn't fracture a lot and we only lose a little, it doesn't take much, right, for just MAGA just to simply lose credibility and power. I don't know. Again, Hunter Young, I'm not trying to equate the two here. I'm just, it's not the same scale, but is the same kind. Does that make sense? Is the reason why you shouldn't defend kids being diddled is the same reason why you shouldn't make jokes about dead kids. It's because people care about kids, right? That's the common thread and common factor. Hunter Young says, and he said all the files were destroyed prior to Trump coming in, and he says Bondi claimed they were on her desk, and someone else destroyed them after her. Look, I think he said everything, right? Like, he said what he felt he needed to say to defend Trump in the moment without regard to what he had said before. $20 from Alexander Wren to say, that man engaged in a level of copium that scares me. He is literally the guy standing in the crowd thinking, he didn't mean me, just all those other losers. When Trump says, the right is so easy to fool. Again, there's really two possibilities here. Pam Bondi lied to the American people when she said she had those files on her desk. And then Trump covered up for her lie, okay, by saying the files that exist were a hoax written by Clinton and Obama and these things, right? That's possible, okay? The other possibility is that they did have the files on their desk and that they had the FBI agents pouring through to remove mentions about Trump, and they've decided that it's better to simply pretend they never had it in the first place and claim it's a hoax made up, written by Obama, Comey, etc., because he's on the list. It's one of those two. There are no other possibilities here. It's a binary situation in this case. Those are your options. So you were either lying then or you're lying now. Which is it? And again, even if he's not on the list and he's simply covering up for Bondi, Pam Bondi lied to the American public. That should come with a cost. You should get fired for that. Schizo Abe says, hello, Wickerson. Hello, Schizo Abe. Only Mr. Bill says, stupidest take. Mr. Bill, if you would like to come on, jump backstage, I'll pull you in, and you can tell me why Trump isn't to blame for everything regarding this Epstein bullshit that's happened. I will talk to you. If you want to defend Trump on this, I'm all ears. I'd be happy to have you. Give him a second. Give him a minute. Oh. People care about this issue. It's weird to me that you think they wouldn't. They care about other issues too. Yeah. But they absolutely care about this issue. I have family members who voted for MAGA who might not vote any MAGA ever again. Not just Trump, right? And Trump can't run for a third term, right? But like J.D. Vance. JD Vance, unless he reverses course soon, he's going to be tainted with this. The stink's going to stick to him. Only Mr. Bill says it's weird to me you put words in people's mouths. What words am I putting in your mouth? That's why I'm inviting you on. In case I'm misrepresenting your position, you can correct it. If you think that I have misrepresented you, fair enough. Come on and tell me why I'm wrong. Where did I miss the mark? Schizo Abe says, I'm way to the right of you, as is almost everyone I know in real life, and I don't know anyone defending Trump on the Epstein stuff. Well, you do now. You know, Misfit Patriot was. We just had him on. I don't know if you saw all that. Okay, gang. Yeah, that was a lot. We had some really good content lately, gang. I think I'm very proud and very happy with the content I've had the last week or so. A couple weeks, actually, for a while. I think the Thursday show went amazing. It was great content. Yesterday's conversation was great content. Today's conversation was great content too, just for the audacity of it, right? Just the sheer audacity of it. But we got some other shows coming up. Tomorrow I might take off. I've not decided yet. Wednesday we're gonna have a call-in show. Thursday we're gonna have Xerxes and Charlie on, and the Wick and Tolly show. We're gonna take a little bit of break from politics that day, and we're gonna talk about some cultural issues. We're gonna talk about why men aren't approaching women in public anymore. Like, what is leading to this? Women begging basically for men to start approaching them again, but they're not doing it. Why not? What is going on here? What kind of factors are at play? It should be great. Schizoid says, I didn't see it, but I'm in chats with him and he's really stupid, so not surprised. Look, he's a nice enough gentleman. He's very personable. But, you know, is what it is. Gang, let's see. How's my goal today going? We are $20 short of my goal. If anyone wants to throw me some bits, some gift subs, some gift memberships, or just $20 just so I can hit my goal today, that'd be great. I'd appreciate you. Am I not giving you great content? Am I not giving you great cinema, great media? I don't like doing it for free. So if you want to give me money. Yeah, goals, I know. Boom! Thank you. I appreciate you, Alexander Rin. It can't always be you, but I appreciate that it is you. I'm looking at you other Wickers out there, okay? You can't let him carry you all, okay? He's one of my strongest soldiers. That's true. But, based. Okay. We are going to end stream at this point. Let's raid into Prime Kai. What do you guys think of that? We'll raid into Prime Kai. And I'll see you guys either tomorrow or Wednesday, one of the two. We'll do a call-in show. You guys can call in. I see a backstage duck. Just call in tomorrow, right? Or call in Wednesday, whichever I decide to have it on. And, yeah. My sleep schedule's all fucked up now. And I'm honestly not going to fix it because it's actually pretty great that it's fucked up. But we'll talk about that later. Yeah, so I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tell Prime Kai that this is a hate raid. And, yeah. Have a great day. Bye.